The Friday Night Football Frenzy is presented by Bay State Savings Bank, the law offices of Joseph J. Carigula, Worcester State University, and Unibank.
Coming up on the college preview edition of the Friday Night Football Frenzy. The Holy Cross Crusaders are primed for another run at a Patriot League title. Can a group of fifth-year seniors lead the way? The Commonwealth's only FBS program is being led by a group of Frenzy alums. We'll catch up with the Eagles. The Greyhound train keeps on rolling at Assumption. Can Coach Chesney's gang stay atop the NE10? And Nichols had a breakout season last year. Will the Bison keep the stampede going? We're back. Summer's over. The Frenzy returns right now. Let's go. Let's go! Hello everyone, welcome to Assumption College. Kevin Shea with Andy Lacombe for our College Football Frenzy preview show. And this Assumption team, this Assumption program has had nothing but success. The last 2 years, you look at what Bob Chesney's done. Back-to-back runs into the NCAA tournament, and they're expecting even bigger things this season.
Yeah, you know, the target's on them in the NE10, and a team that goes to the NCAA tournament, they have the bullseye on them. They don't mind. There's a lot of competition here in camp, and their expectations are high. They are far from satisfied.
The best team in the NE10 just might reside on Salisbury Street in Worcester. But don't tell the Greyhounds any of it. After a 2016 campaign that ended in a loss in the NCAA tournament, Coach Bob Chesney and the Hounds are forgetting the past and looking forward to a new season.
We end the year at 9-1, and I think that as I felt the tone through the spring and the tone through the summer was, you would have thought we were 1-9, you know, and that's reassuring to me, you know, that they don't look back and try to find the positives. They look back and try to find what they can improve upon. They're not satisfied. They're hungry, and they want to continue to improve.
A key word in the preseason for Assumption is competition. Chesney believes that high competition in practice translates to success in games.
Every single year we need to come in here and we need to compete, right? If we're handed to anybody, I don't think it's worth much. So that's the expectations, is that they come in here and they feel like they might have a spot, but it's not their spot until it's finally their spot, and that's what we're working on every single day. You know, one guy's 9-0, and he's not our starter. You know, the other guy's also a phenomenal quarterback in Monks. You know, Monks and Toby are doing an unbelievable job. We have a really nice competition going right here. And a transfer that came in, started 2 years at Monmouth, and he's with us now, and Cody Williams. You know, it's just something that we're never going to be satisfied.
The high-powered Hounds are led by wide receiver and NFL prospect Ashton Grant. The reigning NE10 Offensive Player of the Year is ready for another all-star caliber season.
Definitely the most productive player in the league offensively the past really 2 years. Be the Offensive Player of the Year last year, and to, you know, see how he makes certain plays and how he was able to do certain things last year is something that, you know, we definitely need to rely on. I think that we understood when he went out, you know, in that championship game and then in the first round of the playoffs, it certainly changed the dynamic of our team. And as good as he is, we got to make sure that we're in a position that everybody else knows that it could be taken away from any of us at any point in time. We have to have the next guy ready, and we got to make sure that we're not just one-dimensional team.
The preseason pick to top the NE10 yet again, the Greyhounds are ready for the pressure of being the favorite to win the league.
That should change nothing about what we do. You know, it would be an embarrassment to me if these guys show up and all of a sudden everybody plays like All-Americans. We should be playing like All-Americans every single day. That's something we talked about in the spring. It's something we reminded them about, and I said I'm not going to make any announcements. We're not going to talk about this stuff. You just come out here and do what you do every single day, and then the rest takes care of itself.
Going across the city to Holy Cross, this is a team right now with a high expectations on them. They aren't satisfied. As a matter of fact, they're upset with the way that the last couple seasons have gone.
Yeah, frankly, talking to them in the preseason, they say they're not as bad as their record showed in the season ago. And they've got 4 fifth-year seniors, which is kind of rare in the Patriot League, coming back on the offensive side.
At Holy Cross, it's an experienced offense with a prolific quarterback preparing for their season opener against UConn. Due to injuries earlier in their careers, running backs Gabe Guild, quarterback Peter Pujols, offensive tackle Jim Murray, and offensive guard Nick Piker are all back for a 5th season with the Crusaders. It was a decision they say was easy for all of them.
The desire to play again and be playing with guys like Pete and Piker and Nick really made the decision easy, and just to be able to play under Coach Rock and Coach Gilmore again.
Me and Jimmy, we have played next to each other for the past 3 years, and it's just kind of a no-brainer to come back, and adding Pete and Gabe, it's just the chemistry's there.
Pretty soon after I got injured, we kind of went through the process of filling out the paperwork and talking to the compliance people in the office. And then once that got through and, I kind of realized that the availability of a fifth year was a possibility, then yeah, it was a pretty easy decision to come back. I get one last opportunity to leave everything out there because, I'm probably not going to be able to play this game ever again.
In the Patriot League, redshirting is not the norm and can be done only for injuries. As a result, the returning seniors had to leave campus and separate themselves from the team.
Peter, Jimmy, and I all had to lift together, and I was working a corporate job, so I was 9 to 5, and then I'd come in and lift at night. The whole team was already out, so it was definitely very different, just 3 of us pushing each other as opposed to 90 guys all in the weight room working.
We've been together this entire time working out, and although we were separated from the team a little bit, it was good to get together individually, and now that we're back with everyone, it's just a great experience.
From a football standpoint, it's a little difficult, especially with the quarterback position. That's a little bit challenging, but on the flip side, it gave the other guys at the quarterback position and the other positions those guys are playing more of an opportunity to develop themselves.
Head coach Tom Gilmore says having the returning fifth-year seniors starting on offense is a big advantage going into the 2017 season.
You always like the talent, but the experience and the leadership is really, really important. And those 4 guys in particular were leaders right from the time they stepped on campus. The physical maturity that these guys gain at this stage of their development is immense.
And for Peter Pujols, the extra season of college football is a great benefit, even though he missed almost all of last year.
That extra year really gave him even more experience, even though he wasn't playing. He'll tell you that he was able to pick up a lot of things and really fine-tune his knowledge of the game.
Definitely look at it, as a blessing from God to be able to come back for another year. Take it step by step and enjoy it every step of the way, because I know, you can't take anything for granted after what happened last year.
Now we go just up the street a little ways here on Salisbury Street to WPI, and what Chris Robertson has done. You talk about building programs. Chris Robertson has built the program over at WPI into a winning program, and this is another group that's seen a lot of success the last couple seasons.
Went to a bowl game a couple of seasons ago, another winning season last year. First time that's been done in a while for the Boynton Hillers, and this is the strongest physical team that Coach Robertson says he's had. They have, again, very high expectations, high goals for this season.
Expectations are high at WPI. The Engineers are coming off back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in more than 2 decades. And despite heavy losses to graduation, Chris Robertson's team has the next man up mentality.
Those players who are stepping into those roles, they are somewhat of a known commodity. They've been out there before in certain type of game situations. They've logged some hours, logged some quarters on the field before. So it's not like we're going into battle blind with these guys. We know that they have the ability to be productive.
We're here to compete every single day. We're here to win the day. And we're looking to win every game that we can. And if that means 10-0, then it means 10-0. But we're expecting to be the best.
The Engineers roster is littered with former Central Mass high school standouts. It's a recruiting strategy that's been a recipe for success at WPI.
Anytime you can get great local guys, it adds something even more so than pulling somebody nationally or whatever from the community perspective, because you're right, you're going to be able to get more people in the stands. You're going to be able to generate, I think, more exposure for the program, and even for the youth in the community, the high school football players at Doherty and South and Burncoat and St. John's or whatever, maybe to give some of those guys, hey, listen, if I do these things, maybe I'll have an opportunity to go to a great school like WPI.
A new season brings a new league for the Engineers. WPI is joining other engineer programs in the NUMAC Conference. A new group of opponents also brings a new set of challenges.
Definitely want to come out here our first year and set the tone, set the bar high for all the other teams and show everyone really what we have who doesn't know, who hasn't played us before.
There's plenty of teams in the conference that it will be their first time playing against other teams. Us, Springfield, Coast Guard may have a little bit, maybe an advantage, just kind of knowing the coaches, having competed against some of those other teams.
For the leaders of the 2017 WPI football team, preseason camp has been intense and highly competitive, and they wouldn't want it any other way.
It's how we come together as a team. You know, we're playing, we're not fighting with each other, we're working together, we're not getting angry, and we're finally like one cohesive unit.
You see the potential on both sides of the ball, and it's amazing. You know, the sky's the limit, and you come back here after spring ball and after a long summer, and you really cherish it every day.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Plenty more to come on the College Football Frenzy Preview. Welcome back, everyone. Now we get into a couple of the local Division III teams outside of the city a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Nichols had a great season a year ago, and Dale Olmsted's rebuilding the program, rebuilding the mindset there in Dudley. The Bison had a pretty good couple of wins down the stretch there last year. They have good local flavor on this team as well.
The 2016 campaign was an important one for the Nichols Bison. A dramatic win over MIT in the season finale helped Nichols finish the year at 6-4. This year's squad is looking to continue the momentum.
No, we got to work that much harder. You know, we made a huge stride last year at 6-4, but we know we still have a lot of work to do, so a lot of the guys are cranking it up that much more. Even during the off season, see that many more guys in the weight room, that many more guys who are working.
You can see that everybody's zoned in to do better than 6-4. Everybody says it's 6-4. Why not go 7-3, 8-2, 9-1?
The key to us last year was just staying focused and completing it, finishing games. We've been in games in the past we were never able to finish, and if you look at the 4-game winning streak, you know, it wasn't easy. We were down a lot of the games, you know, at half or going into the third quarter. But again, we were able to keep it together, play focus, and finish.
The saying goes, a rising tide lifts all boats. A winning season in Dudley brought new life into the Bison football program.
The campus was all behind us. It felt great because everybody was cheering us on, everybody coming to our games. It felt really good because even in classrooms, professors and other students are telling us congratulations and keep it going.
Everybody's hyped up all across campus. The professors were excited, we were excited. The other students were excited. We had more people here at the games. It was awesome.
For head coach Dale Olmsted, this is a new team and a new season. But he doesn't want his returning players to forget the feeling of success from last year.
I want them to remember it, just like, you know, the good and bad times. Learn from your mistakes, learn from your wins. But, you know, make no mistake about it. We're going to keep the same philosophy. You know, day by day, win the day. You know, win the down, win the play, keep small goals, keep focused, and then at the end of the game, hopefully we can look up and the numbers are in our favor.
The toughest thing, I think, for a new staff is changing a culture and kind of getting that winning attitude in, and that's what this coaching staff has in front of them.
Yeah, they're starting by bringing in a ton of freshmen. Like 90% of the team are freshmen. He brought in like 90 freshmen here in the preseason. They're working hard. He praises how hard this young group works. Dan Mulrooney is an intense character, and he's trying to change the mindset and the mentality around the AMCATs.
New Anna Maria head coach Dan Mulrooney is on a mission to rebuild the program and the mentality around it. The former WPI assistant is ready to face the challenge for developing AMCAT football into a Central Mass force.
Our team's coming together for sure. We're tough on them, but we care about them, and that's the focus. I mean, 90% of this team is freshmen. So it's definitely a challenge to teach the skills and the scheme and that kind of things, but I wouldn't trade these kids for the world. They work so hard, so hard. And when you see them out there, it's so encouraging because there's never an attitude problem, there's never an effort problem, and I could live with that. The culture's changed.
We want to change everybody's mind. We want everybody to not just look at Anna Maria as the team, oh, we're going to go out there and we're going to play and we're going to beat them up. No, you're going to come out here and you're going to play Anna Maria and you're going to see a whole new team. And you're going to see that Anna Maria could compete.
To say the AMCATs will be young is an understatement. About 90% of their roster are freshmen, but Mulrooney says he's excited about the work they are putting in.
It's tough at times because they're 17, 18 years old, and they're just coming off a high school football field. But they are big, and they are strong, and they have so much potential that I'm really excited, and they care.
The competitive level and the energy we bring every day it's tremendous. Guys come out and compete no matter what age. We have a lot of freshmen, as you guys know, but they come out and they play like they're a senior. Sometimes you forget they're freshmen.
The season kicks off for Anna Maria at WPI. A trip to Coach Mulrooney's old stomping grounds is a tough opener, but the Amcats are not backing down.
I've been at WPI the last 4 years, and they're well coached under Chris Robertson. He's one of my best friends, and you know it's going to be a challenge for us.
We're not afraid to face anybody. I mean, we're going to go out there, play some smash mouth football, and we want to be one of the best teams, if not the best team in the Worcester area.
We know we have a big test right away.
All right, we're going to take another break, and we will be back with more of the College Football Preview Edition right after this.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is brought to you by the Sullivan Group, the Central Mass Safety Council, Nichols College, Berterra Nissan of Auburn, Interstate Battery, Worcester Raiders Hockey Club, Holy Cross Athletics, Milford Venue, and Pucci's Fine Jewelry.
If you are a local kid playing, we will find you. And certainly that's the case with all the local kids playing at Boston College. We'll find you at Chestnut Hill, and we'll follow your progress.
Yeah, Davon Jones, Isaac Yadam, the Lindstrom brothers, and Sean Reagan. All these guys could factor in, but certainly a lot of these guys will play big roles this year for the Eagles.
Things are looking up at the Heights. After finishing the 2016 season with a bowl win over Maryland, the Boston College Eagles are ready to take the next step. A key part of the Eagles' success this year will be the play of 5 former Central Mass standouts: Isaac Yadam, Chris Lindstrom, Davon Jones, Sean Reagan, and Alec Lindstrom. These Frenzy alums are proud of the bond they have formed at the college level.
It's great to have people from the same area all on one team, because at the end of the day, we all come from the same area, so we know we have each other's back no matter what.
Get to talk to those guys about what they've gone through. Back when I was still in high school, I'd ask them questions about how things worked here, and I really got important answers, and it's just really cool knowing guys in the locker room before I even stepped foot in it last year.
It's really cool to be around other guys, and we have so many New Jersey guys in here talk about Jersey football every once in a while, so it's really cool to have Central Mass guys talking about football. It's high school football. It's really nice.
The leader of the group is Doherty alum Isaac Yadam, a standout cornerback for BC. The senior has developed into the top defensive back on the Eagles roster. The former Highlander has raised the eyebrows of his coaches and NFL scouts as well.
Every day, this young man has an amazing athletic play. And the reason he has an amazing athletic play is because he's in great position to be able to make it. The other guys, they're getting coached too. They're good players too. They have scholarships too. And Isaac has just hit a different level of preparation.
I'm trying to work on making a lot of plays this year. I just want to make more interceptions and cause more turnovers so I can get a chance at the next level.
On the offensive line, Shepherd Hill alum Chris Lindstrom is one of the leaders of BC's front 5. Lindstrom has gained valuable experience the past 2 seasons and is ready for a breakout year.
Developing through freshman year now, and physically the transformation has helped tremendously. I can feel it now, especially going into junior year at camp through spring ball, and even the extra weight I put on now to get up to 312 really helps.
He's playing at 265 pounds as a true freshman against Florida State. He's now 310 pounds, and he's in a really good player right now. But when he played, he had no business being on the field.
Mentally, learning the offense to a point now where I'm mastering it and really taking it to the next level.
Davon Jones, Sean Reagan, and Alec Lindstrom are young Eagles looking to make an impact this season. Along with Isaac Yadam and Chris Lindstrom, the Central Mass contingent at Chestnut Hill is showing CMass can thrive in the big time.
Came in here just wanted to be a team player and competed to get a role on this team. And from last year to this year, I'm just trying to build on that role and continue to help my team grow and try to win as many games as possible.
I'm really impressed with how we're taking it up a notch each year as we go along, and I think we're going to have a great year this year.
Becker College back closer to home. The Hawks, disappointing season a year ago, but they've got a local guy in Shane Padini coming back as the leading tackler on last year's defense. They're going to lean on him and their seniors to lead the Hawks to a better year this season.
After a disappointing 3-7 2016 season, the Becker Hawks are back with a new intensity and a new sense of purpose. Head coach Frank Forcucci has challenged his team to use last year's disappointing campaign as motivation.
The intensity has been great and the competition is there, and that's what we lacked in the past couple of years. Even with the success we had, we didn't always have the competition at every position. So some kids got a little comfortable and we weren't able to push them.
He just constantly reminded us of last season and the goals that we had that we set for ourselves this upcoming season, and he just kept reminding us that it always takes hard work and there's no easy way out of it.
The Hawks offense will be led by senior quarterback Nas Sinkfield Shelton. The senior has been bitten by the injury bug during his career at Becker, but when he's on the field, he's been a winner.
When Nas got hurt, we were 2-1, and we were feeling pretty good about ourselves. And he's a very talented player. He's the leader of the offense. But the biggest effect when he got hurt was I felt like the confidence of the rest of the team. We didn't have confidence that we could win a game without him.
I was a starter since my sophomore year. I was kind of the young guy, but now since I'm the older guy, they actually look up to me. So it's a process, but I'm ready to take that step.
His last 13 starts, we've won 9 games.
Becker's defense is led by Leicester native Shane Padini. The former Wolverine is as intense as they come. The senior safety is ready for his last go-around as a college football player.
I find that I'm actually loving it more now because I took it for granted when I was younger. It was almost more of a dread because you come out here and you're a little bit more confused. But now it's just fun.
Shane brings leadership on and off the field. He's a student of the game. He's great in the meeting room. He brings a physical presence on defense. He's a physical player, and he's feeling healthy too. Last year, he was a little banged up, but he is healthy and he's ready to go. He's fast, he's physical, and he's mastered the defense.
Becker opens with MIT, Worcester State, and WPI. It's an early season test for a young Hawks squad.
We know that they're good. They're good competitive teams. They got a lot of guys, a lot of motivated guys, a lot of people I know.
This year, we're ready, we're focused, so we're just trying to redeem ourselves from last year.
Take a look at Worcester State, and this is a team in a program that's had a couple down seasons. Brian Cullen, the head coach, been there for 33 years. He's switched over from the offensive side to the defensive side. Look out for the Lancers this year because they're pinning their ears back and they're coming for you. After a tough season last year, Worcester State is ready to return to the upper echelon in the always tough MASCAC. This year's Lancers squad is using 2016's 3-7 record as motivation for 2017.
We had a great off season. It was the first time we had the new building here, so we used that as far as for our weight training and stuff like that. Spring, we had a pretty good competition in the quarterback position, which is the key for the offense for this year.
Going into the off season, we realized, you can't come back the same as we have in the past couple of years because by our standards, that just hasn't been good enough, So I think we really, revamped the off-season workout program this year. I think we really became more disciplined as a team.
The Lancers have traditionally had one of the top offenses in Division III in New England. Competition between the top two signal callers in the preseason has Lancer head coach Brian Cullen enthusiastic about the offense's potential.
Mike Cadlick is the #1 guy with Noah Brum is the #2. They know the offense, they execute it, they get it to the playmakers.
You have to be smart. It's all about knowing what's going on, knowing the plays. It's not, you don't have to be the fastest guy. You don't have to have the strongest arm. It's all about, know what's going on and making reads.
Cullen knows that defense wins championships. The longtime head man for Worcester State made their improvement a priority this offseason.
We weren't very good on defense the last few years. We have some veterans coming back. So that, along with pretty good recruiting class, I think will help turn the tide.
Last year, like I said, you could look at it as a down year, but at the same time, I think a lot of guys got an opportunity to play. So I think we have some good experience at a lot of different spots.
For the seniors on the Worcester State team, they know this is their last time playing football at a high level. A good start will be a key to a successful season.
This year, there's that extra sense of urgency, that kind of ticking clock that just, hey, this is your last run, so have no regrets about it.
We have to get off pretty good. We play a good Salve team. We open up, so that'll be a good indicator of where we are. And then obviously, our home games, we have a pretty good home game schedule, so try to take care of business at home.
We're coming right back with more from Assumption College as we preview all the college teams around the area.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is presented by Bay State Savings Bank, the law offices of Joseph J. Carigula, Worcester State University, and Unibank.
Football will be back next week.
We got our high school frenzy, and we're going to preview the local high school scene, talk about all the teams in Central Mass. Andy and I will make our picks and make some enemies. From Assumption College, for Andy Lacombe, I'm Kevin Shea. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week. Hey, the football season has begun right here on Charter TV 3.